Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for this Valentine's Day, February 14th, if you do celebrate Valentine's Day. We still are expecting a little bit of everything today, especially for the first part of the day. As we get through the rest of the day and on in through the rest of the holiday weekend, heading into Monday, a holiday, we're going to see more snow with a little bit of rain mixed in a few spots as we head through the rest of the next couple of days. Looking at how things are going for at least today, precipitation begins to taper off during the day, especially in the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley, lingering showers in the mountains. There'll be a little bit of light freezing rain still possible this morning down south. The warm front really hasn't developed, especially once you get out into the Snake Plain. So a lot of places are still seeing fluffy snow, that more powdery snow initially. As we continue to warm, what snow remains falling today will eventually become more of that wet snow as we get warmer temperatures, and just periods of rain and snow, mostly snow, as we go through the early part of next week. Satellite shows the area of low pressure continuing to circulate over the western U.S., just little waves pushing from west to east, heading into portions of Idaho, and more maybe probably of a southwest or northeast movement for today, at least across the area. Our weather risk outlook, you'll notice we continue with some more moderate impacts over the Snake Plain, the Magic Valley, and the South Hills. A lot of that is maybe just more for the potential of freezing rain. We did not get that really good band of snow developing. We were talking about places like Craters, Blackfoot, even Idaho Falls receiving several inches of snow last night and early this morning. That just never materialized because the warm front basically is stuck along the benches south of Pocatello, south of Highway 86. It's going to take a little longer for that to go today. Once that moves north, a lot of the moisture's out of here, so we don't have to worry about that little band of heavier snow in that area. But still, some wind across the area, some blowing and drifting snow will be possible. The least areas we're going to have to worry about up around Chalice and Mackey, up towards the Stanley area, also up into Limhi County. There'll be some snow, but certainly not as much over the rest of the area when you look at the whole event, not just for today. Going into tomorrow, we do have a convergence band, and we'll take a look at where that may develop later tonight into tomorrow morning. Also, some lingering more moderate snow over the central or the eastern and southeastern highlands, especially during the early part of the day Saturday. And just precipitation continues Sunday, Monday, into Tuesday, so just some continuation of adding moisture, especially to the snowpack. Some areas have just not seen much snow at all this particular winter season. Now, looking at how that forecast is going today, we continue to watch the most of this precipitation lifting to the north and to the east during the morning hours. Just maybe another band or two for the Snake Plain, but you'll notice most of it shifts south and east of the Snake Plain with some lingering snow showers in the central mountains. As we go into this evening, this continues to the south, but look up to the north. We're going to start to see winds switching to the north and west. We eventually do get a convergence band developing, and it's kind of a wider band initially from around Island Park down through the Pocatello area. But as we go into the overnight hours, it really sets up anywhere from around Rexburg down through Pocatello, maybe American Falls. This particular forecast we're looking at has the farther southwest potential with this band developing. Most likely, in looking at the rest of our forecast data that we look at, kind of keeps it north of Pocatello, even maybe not much farther south than the Shelley and Firth area on up towards Rexburg and over into the Teton Valley, and of course the bench areas as well. But still, there's a moderate chance we could see it extending back down into the Pocatello area, maybe as far southwest as American Falls. But that really goes away tomorrow morning and just left with a little bit of light snow east of I-15 during the day tomorrow. That would be Saturday afternoon. So looking at this morning, you'll notice they're continuing to see some light snow over the area. Some pockets of maybe over an inch accumulation this morning with some heavier little shower areas, little bands moving over the Snake Plain and Magic Valley. And again, kind of if you drew a circle from Shoshone to Twin to Oakley, over towards McCammon, Pocatello, maybe not quite to Blackfoot, but certainly back towards Cary and Shoshone, those areas. Just some pockets of very light freezing rain this morning, still possible. And any ice with snow just is really not a good thing to have anywhere. when you're traveling. And just a little bit of more accumulation over in the eastern and southeastern highlands. There's really not a lot of wind. We continue to have, at least this morning, some north and east to north winds over the Snake Plain. That is kind of helping keep that warm front to the south of us. There's really not a good push to get that warm front off the bench areas and shifting it north to, at least this morning. That'll be later on today. But those wind gusts in some spots over 20 miles per hour for this morning. There is that little area of freezing rain, just some very light ice accumulation. Magic Valley, maybe again over to Pocatello and McCammon. For this afternoon, you'll notice not much going over the Snake Plain. Just continue to some light, maybe some pockets of a little bit higher accumulation over the highlands this afternoon. And those winds starting to barely pick up later in the afternoon. Some of those gusts, a little more gust potential around 25 miles per hour. Temperatures for today, you'll see a lot more areas near or above freezing, and even in areas that we're going to be around 33 to 36, that would be just a wet snow today. And if we get any showers to move out of the mountains over the lower Snake Plain, Magic Valley, and especially those valleys south of the Snake Plain, that should be mainly in the form of rain or rain-snow mix. For this evening, again, mostly higher elevation snowfall, but you'll notice winds starting to pick up, and the winds are going to be occurring over the Magic Valley, maybe as far east as Pocatello, certainly back into the Treasure Valley, also down in the South Hills and Albion Mountains, as we start to see the wind shifting north and west, getting that convergence band developing before the overnight hours, and going into past midnight. You'll see some of those winds down around Burley and Oakley, the higher elevations pushing 40 to 50 miles per hour. Elsewhere, 15 to 25, maybe some 30-mile-an-hour gusts. But you'll see that convergence band developing, especially Ashton, Rexburg, Idaho Falls, trying to get to Blackfoot and Pocatello over in the Teton Valley, and also enhancing some snow in the Tetons and the Big Holes as well during the overnight hours. Otherwise, just light occasional snow elsewhere. And that band slowly shifts southward for tomorrow morning. That's after sunrise. And again, it may not reach Pocatello or American Falls, but certainly once you get to just north of Blackfoot through Idaho Falls over into the Teton Valley, that's where the most likely area of seeing this convergence band impacting travel and such tomorrow morning. And again, the wind's still strongest down into the Magic Valley, the South Hills, and Albion Mountains, but other areas, gusts 25 to 35. They'll be out of the south and west. To the south of the convergence band, to the north and west behind it. That's where we're seeing some of those higher gusts over the central mountains into southwestern Montana. And in the afternoon hours, those winds start to relax, and we basically see just some very light snow shower activity, maybe some flurries across the rest of the area. That's tomorrow afternoon. For tomorrow, temperatures down south not really warming up too much during the day tomorrow across the area, but you'll notice most areas are staying near freezing, just maybe above into the Treasure Valley and the Magic Valley, otherwise below freezing elsewhere across the area. That's tomorrow afternoon. Going into Sunday, we do try to push some temperatures up, especially from Idaho Falls south and west. 40s over portions of the Magic Valley and Treasure Valley in the afternoon. A warm evenings, overnight, so to speak. Temperatures in the mid-20s to near 30 from Pocatello westward. Elsewhere, we're not going to see a very warm day on Sunday. And this is looking at snowfall, and we'll certainly see how this changes over the next few days. But the trend is, with this pattern, the Sawtooth, surrounding ranges, also the eastern and southeastern highlands, that's where we'll see the bulk of the snowfall with this next round Saturday night into Sunday. Might again have to watch for a little bit of a convergence band from around Pocatello northward across the Snake Plain. Going into Monday, you'll notice temperatures in some areas not really moving around too much for overnight lows and afternoon highs, but certainly some areas staying at or above freezing during that particular period. And that next round of snow doesn't look much different. Eastern Highlands, Southeast Highlands, also into the Sawtooth and surrounding areas. That's where the bulk of the snowfall is, and we'll see these amounts changing. This particular couple of waves coming through, not quite necessarily seeing 100% agreement on how much snow and exactly where it's going to fall. So once again, this round will start tapering off during the day over the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley, but elsewhere, snow showers continuing, and maybe a little bit of light freezing rain this morning. Shoshone, Burley, Oakley, over to McCammon and Pocatello, but nothing widespread. But any ice with snow is just going to make any travel issues that much more difficult. As we continue to warm today, since the warm front really never got going overnight, eventually that snow becomes wet as we get warmer temperatures, and just off and on snow mixing with some rain in some areas through the rest of the holiday weekend. Have a great day. Do stay safe out there, everyone.